So, to get started, I already took the measurements for the compost. Save some time on the videos. This one's right about 90 degrees, which is the minimum of where we want it. The finished long-term bioreactor in the back with the grapevine growing around it that you can't really see. That one is at 85 degrees. A little cool, but that's fine because it doesn't have to break down quickly. We're not in a hurry for it. And then this one up here that isn't finished, it's the same long-term style, but same idea, but different implementation of it. It's at 80 degrees, but that's fine because it's not finished. So our first is discussing what we're gonna, discussing some basic first aid. What to do if you get injured. So this topic, since I can't do hands-on demonstrations while doing the mold, it's gonna be pretty simple and basic discussion. I'd recommend, there's lots of people on YouTube that'll give you a start. The Boy Scout First Aid book is a great place to start to learn first aid. And then alright, we lost connection there. So, YouTube, Boy Scout First Aid Kit, or First Aid books, those will get you started. A first aid class is really good idea. So like American Red Cross class, and then there's advanced first aid classes. Like I taught the self-aid / buddy care class for the Air Force. But something that I want to do to brush up on it sometime is, and actually I think they might actually be better, is a class like Refuge Medical teaches, or one of these other people that teach you, like, not only how to do first aid, but how to do first aid in stressful situations. Because that's when it really matters. And then also, you should get a good first aid kit. Because we're giant hunters, we're people who do things. Get out and we're busy doing things, making our lives better. So a lot of times we're using tools, chainsaws and the such. Like before this, I was working on the new chicken tractor and using the drill. That's not really that dangerous of a tool, but yeah, the other day I was using the chop saw. So a good first aid kit like this one to have around. This one I put together myself. Has a combat applicable tourniquet. Anything ICCC rated, good. I'm not gonna go through everything in here, but one of these Walmart disposable headlamps, if I use it, I pitch it. Every now and then I pitch it and buy a new one. They're $1. Probably shouldn't throw it. Some chest seals in here to stop like puncture wounds to the chest. Israeli bandage, gauze rolls, gloves, CPR barrier, a quick clot, and then I got band-aids and other stuff in here. I got scissors. I also got a tension neothorax decompression needle. I'm not trained on how to use one of those, but they're cheap, so I threw one in here in case I'm somewhere and I get hurt, car accident, something like that, and there's a doctor driving by. He might be able to use that. Something that's missing out of here, I just noticed, are some, I usually try to keep some hard candy in there. Good for people with diabetic issues, like my wife, to have around. So next week, our preparedness topic is going to be similar to last week's, but it's how to prevent kidnappings and what do you do if somebody's trying to kidnap you. It's also good to teach your kids because they'll they don't get kidnapped. Well, I got plastic in here. I don't want to put that plastic in my pocket because I got ants building a nest. Hello to the one person watching. Well, yeah, we got ants building a nest in the compost pile. I don't know if that's because it's cooler. Oh, and part of the reason that I think the temps are cooler than they have been in the past is it's been getting fall. And like this morning, it was in the 50s when I got up to go to work. So I think that might be causing these to be less cool. On top of that, it's gotten smaller because I'm moving it around. It's getting moved when I turn it. I'll just keep doing it. Keep turning it. If it gets down to where it's steadily below 80 degrees, I'll either spread it out and just use it as half composted mulch stuff, which is better than nothing, or I'll get some more mulch and greens, mix it back together into a new pile. Not sure which. We'll figure it out when we get there. But anyway, the topic for this week. I was thinking, the Boy Scouts and other groups have lists of like personality traits, that kind of stuff. Boy Scouts call it the Scout Law. So I want to do something like that for myself, my family, and others. Not sure what to call it, but like the 12 key personality trait things. If you got an idea, put in the comments. And I listed all 12 of them in the comments if you want to look at them. It's in the pinned comment. But trying to do a better job facing the camera when I talk. I noticed last week the audio, that was the only audio problem I had, is when I turned around. But anyway, so the first one on the list is reverent. And I put it at the top of my list. The Boy Scouts put it at the bottom of their list because, you know, put the most important one last. I put it at the top of my list because I think it'd be a good idea, since there's 12 of them, that's why I picked 12, to work on one a month. One of these key areas every month. So I put it at the top of the list because we should work on being reverent before we work on anything else. So, my idea for reverence is like building a relationship with God, putting God first in our lives, and then putting other important things where they should be. So not just reverence for God, which is our primary reverence, but we should be reverent to our family structures, reverent to tradition, not dogmatic with our traditions, but just like our family tradition is, like me and Sarah want to start a family fun night on like Wednesday or Thursdays probably. Board games, mostly board games, maybe occasionally Mario Kart, maybe a movie on occasion, but spending time together as a family. At least once a week after dinner, this is family time. All right, next on my list, I haven't memorized these yet, I just wrote this today. What I did is I took a whole bunch of lists from Boy Scout Law and some other places I got lists off that I like, and then I took key things I like out of each list, put them into a long list. It was like almost 30 things, and from there I asked ChatGPT, hey, what would one of these have things in common where we can rearrange it and make it only 12 things? And then it made me a list, and I'm like, hey, add these things back in, change this a little, and then I went through by hand and moved things around. So this is my list, but yes, I did use some AI to help me sort it through, because AI is a good tool if used properly. Yeah, I know AI can be used by bad people to do bad things, but so can guns. So we don't say, I'm not going to own a gun because a bad guy can do a bad thing with a gun. I'm going to say I'm going to own a gun because it's a good tool that I can use partially to help myself from bad guys. Anyway, authenticity, being who you are. Don't be somebody that people can trust you and rely on you. Those kind of ideas, and also be true to who you are. If you're a plant geek, be a plant geek. If you and your friends like playing Dungeons and Dragons on the weekend, play Dungeons and Dragons on the weekend. That may not be my thing, but as long as you're having a good social time with people and it's an uplifting, productive time, and you're not letting your playtime get in the way of everything the rest of your life. We'll get to that kind of stuff later in the list. But just be who you are. That doesn't mean get stuck in a rut. That doesn't mean don't make improvements to yourself, but be your authentic self. Stand by 1 second. The other day I had to use the extension cord and pull it through the kitchen window. Apparently I didn't shut the window. There'll probably be a video upcoming in the near future on how to fix an outdoor outlet and upgrade it. All right, introspective. That word might change. But basically, look at don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you used to be and make improvements in the areas you want to see improvements. Also, find things you enjoy. Like I said, authentic. Find things you enjoy and participate in those. Don't work all the time, but make your work something you enjoy. You may not enjoy your job, but like my last job, I did not like it at all. But what I did like is I was most of the time left completely alone for like 10 hours a day to have my earbuds in to listen to the Bible, podcast, and books and stuff like that. It was great. Job, not so much, but that aspect of it was great. So I learned to take a job I really didn't like, find something I can enjoy in it. So, like I said, look at yourself, look internally. Don't compare yourself to others. Yeah, you can have role models, you can have people you look up to. Like, I really like that guy that lived 2,000 years ago. You know, that Jesus guy, he was pretty cool. His disciples, pretty cool guys. I like to follow them and learn from them. And also, some of the guys, like Moses, Abraham, cool guys. Moses had a little bit of an anger issue. Abraham was kind of a liar. Didn't want to confront people. We all have that issue. But look up to those people. You can look up to people as role models, but also look inward too. Not to say, oh, look at how great I am, but look inward to where you can improve. Compare yourself to where you used to be and make strides towards your goals. And enjoy things and be your authentic self. Okay, supporting. So, talked a lot about putting a group together so you and your group can help each other and help do projects for each other. But also, I think part of supporting is having extra food on hand to give people. Somewhere in the Bible, I think it's one of the Paul's letters, but I could be wrong. It says, what good is it to tell somebody, go and be warm and well fed, when they don't have a cloak and don't have food? So support those kind of people. Take care of them physically. Sarah's grandma fell and broke her neck. She can't go grocery shopping. She's fine. She's doing well. She's doing as well as a 90-year-old with a broken neck can do. Actually, she's doing really well. But we came over there, or we've been grocery shopping and helping her out that way. But she was having kind of a down day, like any 90-year-old would that had a broken neck. She's pretty self-sufficient, really self-reliant. She can do a lot of stuff. But right now she can't, so she's kind of down in the dumps about it. So we talked to her, help cheer her up. That's also be part of supportive. The Bible says when, that was a big bug. I don't know what it was or where it went. I just saw a big bug moving into the mulch. Compost. Anyway, definitely think I need to add some greens. Bible says that when others are weak, lift them up. But when somebody's in mourning, mourn with them. If they're sad, be sad with them. It also says if somebody's joyful, be joyful with them. That's also being a supportive person. So not just physically supportive, which is a lot easier for a lot of men to do. It's also a lot easier for the kind of people that are watching this kind of stuff, like me, giant hunters, exiles, those kind of people. So, both be physically supportive, go over to your buddy's house, help him out with, he's putting a new door on, he's never put a door on, go over there and help him put a door on, help him change out his water heater, stuff like that. Help somebody in need with some food, but also sit there and talk to somebody. All right, we gotta go through these a little faster. All right, cheerful. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff in the world going on, but learn to find the joy in things. And even, this is really difficult, and I've had a lot of trouble with this in the past, is even when you're going through difficult things, try to find things to be joyful about. Because those difficult things are going to make you a better person in the long run, and make you better able to help other people, and better able to follow God's mission in life. So try to always find the joy in things. That doesn't necessarily mean be happy. Or cheer. Try to find the cheer. Try to be cheer. I'm going to change that one right now to joyful. I don't like cheerful. That is going to be joyful. Frugal. Okay, this isn't being cheap. I consider frugal and thrifty to be kind of the same thing in this case. So, use what you have to the best of your ability. Don't waste things. Get like lawn clippings and free mulch and make compost to make your yard better. But also, look for good deals on things. And I'm not talking about being cheap and buying the cheapest thing. Buying the best thing for the job that you can afford. Best quality. Not not buying stuff just because it's the most expensive either. Like, one of the things that I really liked about Sarah when we first started dating is she told me she drove 2015, I think that's what year it is, Caravan with a rebuilt Jasper transmission in it and a 20-year-old Camry. And that let me know that she's not a wasteful spender. She buys things that make sense and gets the best life she can out of it. Makes the most out of things. All right. Ambitious. Get out there and get things done. Now, don't be so ambitious that you neglect your family, neglect peaceful time and fun time and stuff like that. But don't make... I know too many people. I have too many people in my life over the years that all they do is sit around and play video games all day. Don't be doing that. And I'm not talking about just being ambitious in your career. Be ambitious of getting stuff done in your life, making your life better. Get up, do your laundry. Turn compost. Do a live stream. Something I need to get more ambitious about. Let's see. Get in that bathtub, flip right side up, and put where it belongs. Where that pole is. Get that pole out of there. Put the bathtub over there. And get ready to get a worm bin in the spring. Right before I was doing this, I had a couple minutes of free time. So I was working on drilling the pocket holes for parts for the new quail tractor. Because we got to get a better quail tractor for winter. And I had a few minutes. That kind of stuff. Sincere's on here. Sincere's a lot like authentic. I think I can replace that with something else. Like I said, this is a work in progress. Oh, I skipped courteous. Courteous is just helping out people. You walk in someplace, hold the door open for somebody, and then not being rude. There's a time and a place to tell somebody they're an idiot. There's a time and the place to yell at somebody. But you shouldn't be the kind of person that does that all the time when it's not appropriate. Be helpful, be friendly, outgoing, reaching people. We're exiles. We're Christians living not in our home, not in our heavenly home with our Father. We're living here on earth. If we're not courteous to people, and we just come off as arrogant, rude, SOBs and all this stuff, why would anybody want to become like us and become a Christian? All right, meek. So I'm using meek the same way Jesus did, the same way the Bible does. When on the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, "The meek shall inherit the earth." Now, the Greek word there is something to the effect of somebody who has a sword but keeps it sheathed. So if you have somebody who's in a coma, they're not a good person because they can't do anything. They're not a bad person. They're not a good person. They just do things. And just because somebody out there only does good things doesn't mean they're a good person. That just means they're in a situation in their life where they can't do bad things. Like, I'm a good person because I don't cheat on my girlfriend. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't steal from people. I don't rob banks. I don't murder people. Well, if you're a scrawny little weakling that just sits on the couch all day and plays video games, you can't do any of those things. You're not being a good person there. You're just not in a position to do bad things. Well, it looks like Sarah came and opened the window, so it looks like the window is supposed to be open. Oops. So, be strong. In order to be meek, we need to be strong. We need to be capable of doing great violence and choosing not to. Like, if a Navy SEAL goes down to a soup kitchen and is feeding homeless people and feeding orphans or something like that, he might be capable of killing every single person in that room, but he doesn't. He's doing good instead. He's choosing to put aside his ability to do great harm and be a good person. And I'm going to make this into, we're going to do separate videos and stuff about all these things later. And like I said, I got to find something to replace sincere, because sincere and authentic sound too close to the same for me. Diligent. That means you keep at it. This is something I'm really bad at. So I'm not going to turn the camera around because you can't see it, but all the way over there on the other side of the yard is cut up all the pieces of wood to build a dehydrator that I cut up this spring to put over the air conditioner. So the air conditioner fan would help dehydrate herbs and stuff like that. And then the shade from the dehydrator will help keep the keep the air conditioner cooler and running more efficient. And we had a bunch of garlic mustard over here, across the street, bunch down there, and I didn't get any of that dehydrated. I didn't get that project done. I wasn't diligent at it. I got a bunch of other half-finished projects. I just need to start knocking them out. And also, I haven't made very many videos lately because I haven't been making very much progress on a lot of projects. So I gotta be more diligent about getting those kind of things done. And patience. Patience is one that sometimes I'm good at, sometimes I'm not. So get behind somebody going slow. Don't get angry at them. Maybe there's a reason that guy's going slow. Maybe he's a jerk. Or maybe he's a little old man who thinks he's having a heart attack, so he's trying to drive himself to the hospital. You don't know what's going on. Try to be more patient with him. Also, be patient with your kids. Your kids probably aren't doing things wrong to do things wrong. They're probably doing things wrong because they have a reason for it. Try to figure out that reason. Try to help them out. Like Thomas has been having issues with his schoolwork, so we've been working with him to try to help him on that instead of just getting mad and yelling at him. We've been trying to find ways to help him do his schoolwork and be more directive and accountable. We could just yell and scream at him, but it's not going to help him. It's going to make him more stressful, make him do less work, and going to make us more stressed out and do less work. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I'll probably do a video on all these things and come up with that 12th thing to replace sincere with. So, normally I end with a Bible study. We talked about some Bible stuff while we did this list, so I think that's all we got. We've been at this for 28 minutes, about half an hour. That's about how long I shoot for. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. You can leave comments and if you got any ideas for that 12th thing, or comments if you guys have any ideas on what to call this list. So thanks for watching, and remember, we as people will rebuild. Start rebuilding. I'll get it right. Yes, I am sure I